Hey everyone! So in Parshat Vayishlach we have this classic story of Yaakov who finds out that he's going to be confronted by his brother Esav and appears to be courageous during the day, but at night he gets a little scared and he runs away. But as he's running away, he gets met with this man who starts wrestling with him, and eventually they're fighting, and Yaakov emerges victorious. And the man says, "Yaakov, let me go." And Yaakov says, "No, first give me a bracha." So the man says, "Fine, I'm going to change your name, Ki sarita im Elokim im anashim batuchal, because you have struggled with God and with man, and you have emerged victorious." And the simple explanation is that Chazal tell us this man was actually an angel, and therefore the angel is saying, Ki sarita, because you have struggled with me, an angel, a godlike creature, and you have emerged victorious from that struggle. So too tomorrow, when you meet with Esav, who's a human, you're also going to emerge victorious from that struggle. And it's this powerful lesson that sometimes we don't believe in ourselves, we don't have self-confidence, but we need an external voice to give us encouragement and to show us that we actually have potential, and that even if it's going to be hard, and even it's going to take a lot of hard work, eventually we're going to emerge victorious, and we should always keep working and not give up on our dreams. And it's beautiful, and it all emerges if we translate this word sarita to struggle, to show that even though Yaakov struggled, he's still going to emerge victorious. Except not everyone believes that this is the message of the story. And I'm referring specifically to Onkelos, because Onkelos, when he translates this verse into Aramaic, he doesn't translate the word sarita as struggle, that Yaakov struggled with his angel. Instead, Onkelos says the following: Ki sarita im Elokim, you have struggled with God, instead means arei rav rivat kodam Hashem, because Yaakov, you are great in front of God. Why does Onkelos do this? Why does he change the word sarita from its simple meaning struggled, to this secondary meaning, that Yaakov is great? And what does the fact that Yaakov is great have anything to do with the story of Yaakov wrestling with an angel? But essentially, Onkelos seems to be getting at something very, very profound. Onkelos seems to be suggesting to us that in order to be great, you need to struggle. What do I mean? Until this point in Yaakov's life, whenever Yaakov has confronted conflict, what has he done? Has he faced it? No, he's run away. When he was back at home and Yitzchak got upset that Yaakov stole his bracha, Esav got upset that Yaakov stole his bracha, and Esav threatened to kill Yaakov, what did Yaakov do? He ran away. At Lavan's house, when Lavan wasn't so happy that Yaakov was becoming so successful, and Lavan was starting to get upset, and Yaakov sensed the tension. Did he confront Lavan? No, he ran away. And finally over here, when he's meeting up with Esav a second time, and Yaakov seems to be gathering up the courage to face his brother, he eventually chickens out. And just like he's done the previous two times, he runs away. But as he's running away, he gets stopped, either by a man, according to the simple reading of the Psukim, or by an angel, according to Chazal. And the guy tells him, Yaakov, you can't keep doing this. You're destined for greatness. You're meant to be a leader. And leaders don't chicken out. They don't run away when they're faced with conflict. They know how to confront it. They know how to face their fears head on, because that's the only way to achieve greatness. That's the only way to be a leader. It's why later on in the story, when we're told that Yaakov was injured during this fight, and he was hit in his sciatic nerve and his gid hanasheh, this sinew in his body, and he was limping, it's told that now for the rest of Jewish history, Jews are not allowed to eat the gid hanasheh. Now we have several stories in Tanakh that have a lot of physical events that happen in them, and none of them do we commemorate these stories in Tanakh in the exact same way. Why specifically are we singling out the gid hanasheh in this seemingly irrelevant story of Yaakov fighting the angel? It's not about the fact that Yaakov was injured and he was limping. It's about what the gid hanasheh represents. The word nosheh, as Hirsch explains, means dislocated. It means to be pushed aside, which means it means to subject yourself to someone else without standing up and holding your ground. And essentially, when we don't eat the gid hanasheh because of the Yaakov story, we're reminding ourselves that we Jews don't act like the gid hanasheh, like a nerve, like a sinew that just gets pushed around, that just gets dislocated, that doesn't stand strong in the face of conflict. In order to be great, in order to be a leader, you have to know how to stand up and face adversity, even when things are difficult. And yes, sometimes that's very hard. I'm reading this book right now. It's called Leadership on the Line. If you want to know what makes great leaders, I'd highly, highly recommend it. But essentially, one of the theses that runs through the book is that even though it's very easy in life when you're a leader to make small technical changes just to get the technical problems out of the way, that's not what great leaders do. They want to make lasting, significant change. You can't just make technical changes, you have to make adaptive changes. Adaptive changes are difficult because they're dealing with conflicting values. It's making changes that are going to hurt. It's going to hurt yourself and it's going to hurt others. But that's the only way to make lasting change that's going to have a net positive impact in the future. I'll give you an example. If you find that you're super busy and you don't have time to do anything, you have two options. You could either start cutting into your sleep or taking time away from eating or cutting into your relaxation time and say, I just don't have time for any of these things. I have to work, which may work in the short term, but eventually, long term, it's not going to accomplish anything. You're going to burn out, you're going to be way too tired, you're going to be way too hungry, you're not going to have energy if you don't ever take a chance for yourself to relax. Technical changes seem to be the easier solution in the short term, but long term they don't do anything. Sometimes you need to make adaptive changes, which are looking at the way you're spending your day and understand that you seem to have competing values. On the one hand, you're spending a lot of your time doing A, because that's important to you, but you also spend a lot of your time doing B, and that's important to you. And you have to make the difficult decision, which do I care about more, A or B? And I'm gonna have to cut back on one. And that's hurts a little bit more because it touches at the heart instead of dealing with technical issues. But in order to make true, lasting change, you have to face adversity head on and ask yourself the real, serious, and sometimes painful questions, because that's the only way to make a lasting impact. And this is the only way that we're gonna become great people and we're gonna be leaders. Essentially, this is what's going on, that we're supposed to take the lesson of Yaakov, and whether we're leading ourselves and trying to become the best version of ourselves, or we're leading others. In order to become leaders, in order to be great, we need to be sarita im Elokim, to struggle in front of God, and that's the only way we're going to emerge to be rav-ravat, kodam Hashem, as Uncle says, to become great in front of God. Don't run away from your conflicts, face them head on. It's difficult, it's hard, no one said it's easy, but that's the only way to make a long-term, lasting impact on ourselves and on others, Am Yisrael, and the rest of the world. Okay, food for thought, something to ponder over Shabbos. Everyone have a great day. I'll see you. Bye-bye.